Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk. I am your host, Hound Dog Buck 50. And on this episode, I'm going to revisit a podcast, a recent episode where Joe Budden had Kevin Samuels on his show. Peace and love and blessings to you all. And we're going to talk about that episode, but just a particular part that Kevin Samuels spoke about and it made me think up here. Okay, it was a good interview. You know, it was about an hour and 30, a little over an hour and 30 some minutes, but it was good. It was very good. Once you started, you definitely wanted to hear how it ended. Now, I'm a big fan of Kevin Samuels because he tells a lot of truth for the man. Now, with that being said, just like Michael Jackson was one of my all-time favorites. I didn't like every single song Michael made. It's the same for Kevin Samuels. Just because I'm a fan, it doesn't mean I have to be in lockstep with everything that he says. I can disagree on certain things, you know. And Kevin Samuels was talking about the treatment of the black man by the black woman. And he was saying, like, you know, as a black man, he's like, you pretty much, it's like you got to be a superhero. You got to make this, you got to make that, you know, all that, this, that, and the third. And I thought about it, you know. Now, he's not lying, but I'm gonna tell you why I disagree to some degree, not totally. Now, listen, I didn't say totally. Okay, here's my take on that, and this is me going off life, even myself and other people. I had my share of nice looking girls, nice looking women. I'm not broke, but I don't make that money where you would say I qualify as high value. No. I know a lot of regular dudes with attractive women who just work regular jobs. You know, and there's a lot of that out there. Yes, there is a lot of the others too, of the women that want you to be able to do a backflip and make whatever amount of money you make. Oh yeah, it does exist. But there's a lot of black women that ain't looking for that either. And I'm not trying to cap, I'm not trying to appeal to women with this. I'm just keeping it real, so hear me out. My thing is this, what Kevin Samuels said about that, it has some truth to it. But this is my advice to the guys that are in the dating realm that are having a hard time. Listen to what he's saying, but don't allow this to let you to pump your brakes and put your pursuit of something on hold in terms of a woman. Okay, and this is what I mean by that. You know, because some men, depending on their personality, when they hear something like that, it gives them a way out. Like, see, that's why I don't even want to be bothered. Because see, no, that's not going to help you. See, what you got to understand is what Kevin Samuels was talking about. It's true, but there's a lot of things that's true. But the only way you can overcome certain things is by continuously trying. For instance, sales. There's a lot of people that don't want to buy a damn car. That's a fact. But how do you sell a car? By constantly attempting to sell one over and over again. And in the process, you then in turn find that person is interested in buying a car. But if you try to sell to 3 people and they say no, what a lot of people do is they shut it down mentally, and whatever happened to them, they use that experience or experiences as a generalization, and they sort of mentally check out, which is the last thing you don't want to do. See, as a man in the dating game, if you're not really, unless you just have money where they just falling all over you. As a man, a regular man, you have to be, you got to be out there. You ain't got to make date chase. It's not about chasing women and making it your life. Nobody's saying that. But in the course of your everyday, you know, routine, you're gonna run into women. You know what I mean? And if you minding your business somewhere and you just see a woman and you take advantage of that moment and you say what you gotta say, you ain't gotta be taken away from your life because the opportunity was there. You took it, you seized the moment, and you kept it moving. Now, like I said before, there's certain things that are have a truth to it, but if you're not, you know, knocking down the door, you ain't gonna never get past it. That whatever that, you know, situation is, you're gonna find a certain group of people that's gonna say, certain women that's gonna say, I can't talk to you, you ain't got no car. But you have to also keep in mind that was them. That doesn't mean every woman is not going to give you the time of day because you don't have a car. You know, if you don't make a lot of money and you're talking to a woman that makes a lot of money, you may find some of them say, no, I make this much and you don't make enough. But you have to keep in mind that was them. If you keep talking to some of those high paid women, trust me, eventually you're going to find somebody that's going to give you a shot because that's how life works. You know, I give you an example. Um, there was a young lady at my job that liked me, and I said something one time. I don't know what I said, but I said something like, I don't know if it was birthday or something. I said, yo, I'm old, and she goes, don't say that. You know why she said that? Because she liked me. And you know why I said the whole old thing? I mean, I'm not 23 anymore, but you know, I said that because I'm sure that I heard that from somebody else, probably a woman too. But whatever it was, I let what somebody else said define me. You can't. That's one thing you can't do. You can, as a man, you cannot let a situation define who you are. You know, if you have an experience with a woman and she does you wrong, that was her. You don't want to, you know, get too caught up into like, oh, there's nah. Keep it moving. If a young lady turns you down, you know, a lady of color turns you down, don't take it personal. Keep it moving. Kevin Samuels is the truth. But for these certain select men I'm talking to, and they know who they are, don't use that as a scapegoat to just shut it down and be like, see, that's why, no, because that ain't going to help you. That's not going to help you get a date on Friday night. You know, all these women is not bad attitude. There's a lot of them that will, you know, submit. But like I said before, you got to be out there. You got to work the numbers. When you work the numbers, then it changes the reality of what you thought was the reality in the first place. But you got to remember, you're already dealing with a certain reality. So the only way to break that reality is to push through it. You already know if you're trying to sell a car, everybody that is not trying to buy a car that day. It just is what it is. Once you get that through your head, you won't be as disappointed when somebody says no. Every woman is not going to give you her number. Every woman is not black or white. Every woman is not going to be the nicest woman in the world that you met. But your job is to keep it moving. Because when you keep pushing, you break past all of that. And like I said, man, I enjoyed the interview with Kevin Samuels. But that was one thing that stood out to me. And I said, you know what? I gotta touch on that. Because what he's saying was true. But like I said, just because I'm a fan, that don't mean I just gotta lockstep agree with everything. So I need you to comment, like and subscribe. We're going to always come with content. The channel's up. We got a new intro and all of that jumping off. And on that note, peace, love, and whatever else you think of love.